Hey everybody, welcome. It is Friday, the weekend. Just another day, actually. So I hope everybody's doing well. So we're gonna get rocking and rolling here in a minute. We've got a couple topics we want to talk about, but so anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good week, and so just want to remind everybody before we get started that this is a very family friendly or I could speak, family friendly oriented channel. So please be kind in the chat with each other and everybody else. No racism or no nastiness in the chat, please. If you cannot do that, then my awesome moderators in blue will boot you out of here. So just be considerate of each other. That's what I ask. And so, anyway, how is everyone? I hope everybody is doing well. Yep, Wolfang says just be nice. That's all. It's very simple. It's a simple concept, but oh, from Dublin, Ireland. Very nice. Reginald Shannon. How are you, Reginald? It's okay. So I did a video earlier today, and we were talking. I did a list of 19 things that will outlast you. Okay, so I got a couple of things, and I got to address two of them, especially the one because I was like, really? But anyway, the first one I wanted to address was ramen noodles. Okay, uh, the packet itself doesn't last well. Okay, and that's the part that but the noodles themselves, the noodles will last forever. So you could cook up those noodles, but the packet that the mix that you mix the stuff with, that's not going to last forever. That's not what I was talking. I was primarily talking about the noodles themselves. Okay, so misspoke on my part, so I wanted to clear that one up. Okay, now the second one, and I saw the comment, and I was like, wow. I was like, really? Okay, so I talked about hardtack. Okay, which is a food that they used like Civil War. The ancient Egyptians used hardtack. So did the ancient Romans. They had their own version of it. Okay, so there was, hold on a second. I'm just going to kill my volume on my phone. All right. So they had their own versions of it. All right. And that's fine. But I had somebody come in and they weren't talking about hardtack. They were talking about Premarin. Okay. And again, it's another survival food that you can make. There's recipes. It's all over the internet. Long lasting, doesn't need to be refrigerated, the whole 9 yards. I had somebody come in and say, well, Premarin, that's estrogen. Why would that be on the list? And I was just like, really? It blows me away sometimes, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It really does. Because there's this wonderful, wonderful thing that we have called Google that you type something in and magically all this information will come up about that topic or whatever that may be. So, yeah, I was just like, I was blown away. I'm not going to lie. I was absolutely blown away. I was just like, obviously she misheard what I said and she thought it was something else. And I'm not trying to slam her. So please, if you're in here watching the chat, please, I'm not trying to slam you. I'm really not. But I was just like, I could not believe that. I was just like, wow. But is it hard to make? Actually, Kat, it's not hard to make. At its, well, it's not okay. He's saying it's PEMMICAN, not Premarin. What? You know what I meant though, right? I mean, maybe I said it wrong, but I'm talking about a survival food, and maybe I missaid it. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, all right, my Prem and K, Prem and K, Prem and Ken. Okay. All right, Prem and Ken. All right, my mistake. So maybe that makes sense then. Maybe that's why she thought I meant something different. So maybe that's on me. Maybe I'm an idiot. I can be. I can tell you that. I definitely can be at times. So I misspoke. My bad. I'm sorry. So, uh, but anyhow, that happens. Now I feel like a jerk. So to that person, I apologize. But that's when they said that, I'm like, what are they talking about? So Anyway, but things happen. What are you going to do? So anyhow, so one of the topics that I really want to focus on tonight. So I did my video on long-lasting foods today. Okay. Oh, and another one. Okay, so I had to bring this one up too. The guy says, he goes, well, sugar. He said, once you open it up, it'll get rock hard. Yeah, because all that moisture gets out of there. Okay, that they use to process it or whatever and stuff like that. Now, when I get sugar, I keep it in the bag that it's in. I take another like a Ziploc freezer bag and put it inside that so that it helps stay, that it's, still soft and stuff like that. I mean, that's one way you can deal with that. But even if sugar gets hard, it doesn't go bad. It's just like honey. Okay, so if you have your nice liquid honey and you put it on your shelf and you forget about it for a couple of years and you go back and it is this solid mass, all right, I don't mean it went bad. You just have to, work on, with the honey, you just heat that up and it go right back into a liquid form. So, but, with, what was I going to say? My brain is all over the place. But anyway, with sugar, that doesn't go bad. So that person that said that, I think they misunderstood, because sugar is a great thing to have. Now, yes, can sugar be substituted for honey? You can substitute that for honey. Also, maple syrup can be used instead of sugar. But it's nice to have those. Yeah, there you go. JJ said sugar cubes. Remember back in the day, and you had the thing, and you put your little thing, and you put that cube of hard sugar in your coffee or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. I remember that, but I'm old, so I remember a lot of things. That. Speaking of which, Betty White turning 98. Pretty wild. Love Betty White. And I'm going to tell you what, back in the day when they showed pictures of Betty White when she was younger, man, Betty White was hot. I'm sorry, but Betty White was hot. Yeah, good old Betty White. I love her. She's a great actress. Very funny person. Good sense of humor, too. And I like that, too. Carrie says, I need sugar to make my wine. There you go. Yeah, actually, it's a good thing to have. So, but I wanted to talk about food again tonight a little bit, okay? So we're going to kind of focus on that. With everything that's going on, so we're going to use another example of something happening around the world that could happen, that has happened here in certain parts of the country, okay? You look at what's going on in Australia, all right? So you have these fires going on right now that they've had a very hot summer over there. And then you've had a lot of fires, and a lot of them were started by arsonists, number one. So there's been, I think it's over 200 arrests. I recently just heard from somebody else that it was over 250 people were arrested for starting fires. Now, why you would do that in the first place, I don't get it at all. I really, truly don't. But they've arrested a lot of people, over there for that. So that's not, any kind of natural phenomena happening. You have sick people that are twisted and demented that think they get their jollies off of doing destruction. But it's affecting the whole country over there in that whole area that's being affected by the fires. Again, those people are not going to be getting to the store because there's not going to be a store. They're not going to be able to, go and do these different things that they need to do. Now, so the fires come into your area, okay? And you got all your preps above ground and everything like that. What are you going to do, right? So one of the things that I've talked about many, many times, again, is having a cache, something underground, something that can be protected. There's no guarantee wherever you are in this country that, like in my outbuildings that I have, okay, I have preps in my outbuildings, okay, I have preps in my house. There's no guarantee that is safe. But what I have stashed away here and there, that is safe, because fire, flooding, whatever, that stuff is going to be okay. So those are things that I want you guys to think about. Where are you putting your preps? Well, they're clearly defined? Do you know how to get there in case of that emergency? Because if a fire comes through and devastates everything, all your landmarks are gone, right? So where did you bury it then? So you can GPS and do an exact GPS location of where your site is, but then you have a record of that. Where are you keeping that record? So those are things you need to think about too. I mean, there's a lot to it, to be honest with you, but you have to take into consideration that things are not always going to stay the same. So you need to prepare for that as well. But again, it's like, now is the time, and I've talked about this, and I've been probably now beating this drum for over a year, about food preparation, having food on hand, making sure if you can get the freeze-dried food, if you can get the number 10 cans, if you can get the legacy freeze-dried foods, if you can get, the pouches that they have from Mountain House, whatever, those are good to have because they're lightweight. They are something that you can take a whole bunch of it with and get a whole bunch of meals. All you have to do is add water. If you have the pan to put them in, something to stir that pan with, you can stir it with a stick if you had to. And if you have access to water, fresh water, obviously, you can go ahead and make that food, and it's going to be warm, filling, and all that type of stuff. So freeze-dried food should be only a small portion of what you're doing. I mean, your freeze-dried food is your long-term solution in a disaster down the road, looking at it from that perspective, okay? So that is something that I want you guys to think about. What do you have? What do you have put away? Where do you keep it? Is it safe where you keep it? Again, now there's a lot of different things. Dollar Tree has freeze-dried fruit. Oh, Tubular Guy 9 just said that. There you go. Now, freeze-dried fruit is another nice thing to have. I know that I have gotten freeze-dried fruit at, what do you call it? Hold on a second. I'm trying to think of the name of the place. There's one right in town, and I'm completely going blank on it. But there's it's I can't think of the name. It'll probably come to me. But there's right one of the stores in town that sells all kinds of stuff, and they have freeze-dried fruit there as well. So it's definitely good to have. Let's see. Dollar Tree has heirloom seeds. I did not know that, Sue. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. I mean, and again, you can get seeds are going to be important to have too. Seeds are really, really important to have. That one bucket I showed you guys with the seeds, long-term food or long-term storage with those seeds sealed up in that bucket, it can last a long, long time, and they're going to be good to go. Now, if you keep those in a cold area, it's going to keep even longer. So you can put them in your freezer if you had to. Wally World has freeze-dried number 10 cans. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Tiny House, prepping, Shannon there. Prepper, Serendipity. I'm sorry. The tiny house, Serendipity, Shannon. Okay, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. I was trying to look at that going, what did she think? But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there to get those type of things. And if you can get those type of things and have them, and like I said, diversify, try different things. Okay. And I encourage you to try different things, because if you just go, okay, well, this company's good, I've heard that they're good, and I'm just going to buy from them. Okay. When you do that, you're not testing that out. You're not making sure that that's good to you. Look what happened recently with Thrive. Okay. There went, a lot of issues with that. The food was not being stored properly. It was going bad in the whole 9 yards. And a lot of people put a lot of money into Thrive food. So, but when you have, other companies that are more reputable, that have been around a little bit, and you look at, you want to look at taste, you want to look at proportion sizes, you're going to want to look at quality. Okay. And those are important. So I know for myself, I have a vast variety of different things. And again, I know Mountain House is good. Okay. I've had it. I've tried it. I like their food. I know that, Legacy freeze-dried foods is good because I've eaten it. I have it here. It's part of my preps. Okay. I don't know about the Augustine Farms. As you guys know, a bunch of that got sent to me this year. I have not tried any of that yet, but I know that they're a very reputable company as well. And so, let's see. Yeah, Legacy. I'm going to tell you what, Legacy, if you're going to go for proportion sizes, and that's what you want to look at, what kind of portion sizes they're giving. Legacy has the largest portion sizes of any of the other companies. That's a fact. So, and like I said, I have had them, and I've done videos on testing that. It is really, really good, really, really good. So I enjoy them. So I wouldn't represent the company if I didn't believe in it. No company am I going to push if I don't believe in the product. That's just the way that I roll. Okay. So, and I'm going to give you a great example. Okay. Great example. I got my greenhouse, right? My greenhouse came with no instructions, things that were not there that should have been there. We waited weeks for the door. I just today, now I want you to remember this now, I hid the tape that goes on the outside to help seal the greenhouse in, okay? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that out to you. I'm going to drop ship that to you. Okay, fine. That was before I left for vacation. I just got that today. Now, I can't put that tape on until we have a day where the temperature is over 50 degrees. So right now, that's not even an option. But why would it take so long to get that? I, in good faith, could not say to you guys, listen, go and buy these greenhouses from this guy. My experience with what I've dealt with him, it's not been good. Now, has he been accommodating and very helpful as far as any questions that I had? Absolutely, yes. When I called him up and I'm like, what do we got to do? We're trying to get this thing together. What are we doing wrong? What are we missing? And he was helpful in that. But my thought would be, if you're shipping out this big greenhouse in this box, throw instructions in there. Paper instructions. Show me what I need to do. It was very, very disorganized is what I will say. So in good faith, I could never say to you guys, listen, go buy a greenhouse from him. I can't do it because my experience was not a good experience, okay? Now, with Legacy Foods, from day one, since I dealt with them, and I'll tell you how that whole thing started. It started out, they contacted me. They said, we'd like you to do some reviews of our food. Can we send you some? And I was like, well, sure. And I said, do you have an affiliation program type of thing? And they were like, yes, we do. So I had signed up to be an affiliate. I did the reviews on the food. The food was really, really good, surprisingly so. And like I said, I've probably done 8 reviews on different products that they've had, okay? And those are up through all my channel. And so I'm like, this is a good company. And, they get stuff shipped out in a timely manner. And if something is behind or delayed, I'm aware of it right away. And I'm going to tell you what, the lady that I deal with Legacy Foods, her name is Amy. She is the freaking best. Right on top of stuff. Awesome person. So, that's my experience with that. So with that company, I'm absolutely going to recommend them 100% for all the reasons that they do. Non-GMO foods. Largest proportion sizes, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, I'm getting completely off track here. But again, any company that I'm going to deal with, I'm going to see how they act, how their customer service is, how they're getting the product to me, the quality of the product, and all those type of things. That's important because when I'm telling you guys something, okay, I have to believe in what I'm telling you. I'm not going to BS with you guys. I'm not going to do it because it's not about just making a buck. Buy this, Chinese piece of crap knife, for $2 because I'm going to make 50 cents off of each one that you buy. I'm not going to do that because I would rather have you buy something with quality, something that's going to last. I don't care if it was somebody making homemade knives, but the quality of those knives is superior. That's what I'll recommend. It'll be more expensive, but it'll be worth it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to back something just to try to make a buck. That's not the whole premise of why I'm in here. That's not why I'm doing what I do. I know a lot of people jump on that wagon and they sell all kinds of different stuff. But the things that I want to represent and sell is stuff that, number one, I'll use myself. Number two, that is quality stuff, and it's how they treat their customers. So those are important things to me. So. Tiki, California. Hey, P1, I'm another year older today, but not much wiser. Well, happy birthday, Tiki. You got to tell us the number now that you said it's your birthday. You got to give us the big number. I had to use my mountain house when I got stuck at work for 36 hours during the polar vortex last year. It was very good. That was LT Smash just said that. Very cool. Yep, that's good. And and then yeah, that is good, and it's good to have. And like I said, I believe in diversifying, trying different things, seeing what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And if you buy a certain product from a certain company and you get it and you try it and you don't like it, why would you buy more? That's important. I think that's really, really important. Did she say or did he or 63? There we go. Okay. Now, Tiki, male or female? I don't even know, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. 63 years young. There you go. And even though there's snow on the roof. Yeah, right. I hear you. Well, I'll tell you what. If I grew this, it's still a lot. You can see kind of the darkness still through here. But I'm sure it's peppered with a lot of white now. Because you look at the beard. The beard's got lots of white in it. So I've used Mountain House years back when camping. It's decent, but a bit salty. Okay. Well, and there you go. You know what I mean? And so you find what product that you like that works for you. And my suggestion would be, if something that you find that you like and you really believe in it, load up. Absolutely load up. So Tiki's 63, so happy birthday to Tiki. So I got to say this really quickly. I'm not sure if they're watching or not yet, but maybe they'll watch the replay. Brandy, take it easy on my boy Reese. He's got a weak heart. No, I'm only kidding. No, he's just got to bust chops a little bit. No, they're good people. My buddy Reese and his girlfriend down in South Carolina. So just want to give them a quick shout out and say hello to them. New virus is reaching the USA via the. You know what, JJ? Yeah, we could talk about that too. That is, they're monitoring now people coming in from flights out of China because of this virus that's happening in China that's spreading and getting worse. You're never going to always, with the Chinese, you're not always going to get the whole truth right away until it gets out. It's just they would do the same thing here. They would absolutely do the same thing here in the U.S. They would suppress stuff until they couldn't suppress it anymore. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm just bashing on China. The U.S. government would do the exact same thing. They would downplay it until they couldn't downplay it anymore. But yeah, there is that virus going around that they have no idea. They haven't found the cause of it yet, where it's coming from. And I know that at least one person has died from that already. So let's see. It's a virus. It started out in some small province in China, and they kind of traced it to a seafood place where they were selling seafood, but they also sold all kinds of other animals as well, like pheasants and all that type of stuff. So, excuse me, but they haven't locked it down to what exactly the root cause is, and a lot of people have gotten sick. The guy that died was in his 60s. I think he was 61. And he was a longtime shopper of that store. So there's a lot of really sketchy information on it, not really clear as far as what's going on in that situation. But I'm going to tell you what, that would be, is if I had to do a checklist, okay, what are my biggest fears? What are the things that I think would jump off some kind of worldwide type of event, okay? A pandemic would be very, very high on that list. Top 5, guaranteed top 5, because that is a realistic thing that can happen. It has happened in the past. And now with our modern travel and being able to fly all over the world at a moment's notice, you can be anywhere. And so the spread of any kind of major thing like that would be unbelievable. So if there is, and it ends up being something that ends up killing a whole bunch of people, that would be a very scary thing. And the government would lock stuff down, but would it be too late at that point? And then as preppers, what do? Do we let our other people, and I talked about this the other day, do we let our other people from the group that came in from the cities that are part of our group, do we just let them in open arms, or do we have to isolate them for a couple weeks in a separate area? That's why, okay, so, one of the reasons that I have the yellow building farther out on my property, right, by the road. Yes, it houses my motorcycle. Yes, I have preps in there. But that very quickly and very easily could be turned into a quarantine area. And so people would be out of the weather. They could be dry and safe and stuff like that. Setting up a wood stove in there would be no problem at all, and it could happen in very short order. But again, that would be the way to go. You have to isolate those people. If you're not sick and your main group that's already there, and none of you are sick, and then you find out that your other group of 3 or 4 people coming in, and maybe somebody's sick in that group, you isolate them all. Everybody gets isolated for at least a couple of weeks to make sure that they're okay to be able to come in. Because it could just be a regular cold or whatever. You don't know. You just don't know. But a pandemic is very, very high on my list of concerns. Economic collapse would be right up there as well, because we cannot continue the way we are going right now. It's just not sustainable. It's just not. Hard rock, I'm not going to actually talk about that subject tonight, because when I talked about that subject last time, even though I only briefly talked about that subject, they demonetized the whole live stream. So I'm leaving that one alone. I'm kind of, that one is coming up, obviously, and everybody knows. So I'm going to kind of wait and see what happens with that situation down there. I haven't really heard anything new other than, what we have all heard. But it'll be interesting. I think that's going to be an interesting situation. I think it's going to be interesting how that plays out. But I'm not going to really get into that, because I really don't want my stream, the whole stream, to be demonetized. Because and I'm going to tell you what. After that happens, I will dedicate a video. I will dedicate a live stream to that topic, and we will talk about that. And I will guarantee you they will demonetize that one. Okay, but that one I'll eat. I don't care. I just don't want every time that I get on here and I'm talking to you guys that, YouTube is playing their games and then demonetizing me for that kind of stuff. So that's, but we will definitely, that's coming up, obviously, very soon. And we will talk about that topic, and we will talk, we will definitely do that. So, yeah, Superfluous, Captain Tripp, Stephen King in the Stand. Love that book. Great book. Great book. Great movie, too. They did the series of that. That was really, really well done. But I read that book long before they made the movie. I grew up on Stephen King. As a kid, I devoured anything that he wrote. I devoured it. Loved his stuff. Still love Stephen King. Yeah, he is definitely a twisted individual with a fantastic imagination. So that's I won't forget, James. I won't forget. No, we will definitely dedicate a live stream to that, and I will let you guys know. I'll even put it right out there, and you watch what happens. Well, I won't put it out there on, as far as I will talk about it during a live stream, but I won't announce that we're going to talk about that topic, because if I do that, then they're going to hammer it right away, and you'll see me have major delays and all this kind of nonsense like they like to do. So, yeah. So... Oh, We Are Legend, yeah, with Will Smith. That was another. Yeah, there's so many movies. The Road is another great movie. You look at these different things. You look at the different examples that we've been given through Hollywood, through people's imaginations and stuff like that. I think a lot of people. Stephen King saw a childhood friend get killed by a train. Wow, yeah, that would definitely affect you. That would definitely affect you. Still can't believe Stephen King wrote Shawshank. Oh yeah, that's one of his books. Yep, Shawshank Redemption. Like I said, the guy's a brilliant author. Some of his short stories, I wish he had turned them into novels. I really do. He's got some great short stories that they put into books, and just fantastic, just absolutely fantastic. But anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about. Like The Stand. I Am Legend with Will Smith there. The Road, all those type of things. There's all these apocalyptic type of movies out there. And I think people don't realize realistically how truly bad things are going to get when that time comes. You're going to have the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots are going to feel entitled, because they feel entitled now, that they should take from the haves, because even though they did nothing to prepare, it's not fair in their mind. They will justify why it's okay to go in and take from people and hurt people, because they're going to justify it in their own minds. I'm telling you what, like I said, and I've talked about this before, guys, The most dangerous person in a post-event is someone who is desperate and scared, and I'll even add one more thing on there, and has nothing to lose. Okay? That's a scary individual. That's the one I'm more terrified of than anybody else. You know, you have groups of guys out there, ex-military, that know what they're doing. You know, absolutely. Okay. But you also have, you know, just rogue people. You have your junkies. There's so many bad things that can happen in a post-event. But that person that is desperate and scared and has nothing to lose and are trying to feed their family, they're the most dangerous one, because they will justify in their mind why they're doing what they're doing. The documentary that they did, Lights Out, where you had that the lights went out, okay, and the way people were acting. And at the end of the movie, if you guys remember that, at the end of the movie, the guy was in a grocery store, and he was fighting another guy over a can of beans. I think it was a can of beans. And I think he killed the guy, because he beat him and put him down, because that guy was trying to take that can of beans, and he wanted that can of beans. So that's what it'll realistically be like. If you are hungry, your kids are hungry, you're going to do whatever you can do to get them food. And if you know somebody's got food, that's not fair, and you're going to justify it in your mind why you need to go and take that food from them. And those people that have the food and are ready, believe me, they're ready for everything. Right next to the person that will do anything for their kids. Exactly. And that's the whole thing, RV Source. You have your children are screaming and they're hungry and they're crying and they're looking at you to feed them. What are you going to do? What would any of us do? Realistically, what would any of us do if our kids were hungry and starving and crying and they needed food? We would do anything that we had to. I know I would. Now my kids are grown now, you know, they're 18, but you know, they're still my kids. And so, you know, yeah, that's people, especially when you're talking 7-8-year-olds that have don't understand, why am I not eating? Why don't I have food? You know, what are the parents going to say? Because I wasn't smart enough to think to plan ahead? I mean, that's something to think about. So again, you know, prep, continue to add food to your preps. Food is going to be key. Being able to have a way to have access to fresh water, being able to purify water. I'm going to do a video. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow on water. I picked something up that I want to share with you guys. Things have really, over the years, I don't want to say simplified, but they've perfected how to purify water, how to get a lot of pathogens and stuff like that out of water. So I'm going to do a video about that tomorrow. It's on my trip, and I went on vacation. I picked something up, and I want to talk about that. So we're going to talk about that. I'll do a video about that tomorrow. But again, you know, it's like the steps that they've made from when I first started prepping to what they've been able to do advancement-wise, prepping-wise, is just unbelievable. And there's a lot more information out there than when I first started. You know, you were scrambling. You were trying to figure stuff out. You're figuring stuff out on the fly. You know, so, but I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter your age or your kid's age. You would do anything for them. Happy Elf. You know what? I agree with you 100%, hon. I agree with you 100%. No matter, like I told my daughter, when you are 50 years old and I am 86 years old, I said, you are still going to be my baby. That's just the way it goes. And, you know, so. Ed, will preppers still have to garden? Absolutely. You're going to actually, Terrence Parker Jr., you're going to rely on gardening as your main source of food. Guaranteed 100%. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all these people out there, well, I'm going to go into the woods and I'm going to hunt and I'm going to get meat. Well, that's great. You and everybody else. And you know how fast those woods are going to have no game in them at all? Or very little game? Very, very quickly. Because, you know, that's why they have hunting season. Because you don't want to deplete the population to a point where there's not enough there. So, Ed, shout out to those who are dealing with the big Midwest blizzard heading east. Yeah, JJ, there's some people dealing with some very, very horrific weather coming through. All you guys out there dealing with that, you know, just be safe. You know, the thing is that the biggest thing that's going to kill a lot of people, even now, before an SHTF event, but especially after, is going to be stupidity. Making a stupid mistake. A stupid mistake that we make right now might not be life or death, but in a post-event, it absolutely can be life and death. So be careful. Don't get out there and get exposed. We had there is a piece of property down not even 4/10 of a mile from where I live. And this is just an example. I'm going to give you an example. Now, we have pretty bad winters up here. Okay, we can. This January has been very mild. It's back to being cold. It was, like I said, 10 degrees today up here. There was a couple, had gone out for a nice evening of drinking. They were an alcoholic couple. And so they got back home. And he stumbled into the house. And she stumbled after him, and she fell. He did not realize it. He went in and he passed out. And she laid outside and froze to death. That's stupidity. But that's also natural selection as well of the species. But those type of things are going to happen in a post-event, just like anything else. So you guys are out there in the Midwest and dealing with this weather. Be safe. Don't take stupid chances. If you don't have to go anywhere, stay home. Miss a day of work. It's not worth your life. It really isn't. So please, just everybody out there that's dealing with this storm that's coming, please be safe. It's fun and exciting. Just started here in Niles, Michigan, and I'm in for the duration. Yeah, I don't blame you, James. Yeah, like I said, if you know something's coming, and you're prepared for that. It's like I said, for me, whenever there's a big storm coming, there's really nothing that I have to do because I'm ready. So it's like we hunker down, we stay low. That's what we do. That's the best way to do that. Absolutely the best way to do that. So, good evening, all from the White Mountains of Arizona. Hey, Emil, how you doing tonight? Welcome. So, but yeah, just like I said, guys, just be safe. That's all. We are expecting 12 inches in the Adirondacks tomorrow. Very nice. Yeah, well, I don't think we're supposed to get very much snow here. We might get some more snow, but it's been cold. And it's weird, too, because now we got like this cold streak that's happening. And then by the end of next week, we have a couple days that is supposed to be quite a bit warmer. So, you just never know. But like I said, I've been like so all over the place tonight, guys, and I apologize. Listen, if you guys haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I haven't even asked yet. Look at me, I'm way behind. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that, please. See, we're with 166 and almost 400 people in the chat, so please shoot that thumbs up for me if you haven't done so. Well, especially if you like what we're doing here. That's why I kind of want you to do it too, just to show the support for that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon, and so you get all notifications. YouTube continues to play the games that they have been playing for quite a while. A lot of my subscribers have contacted me and said that they were unsubscribed. I had somebody contact me like, yeah, I was looking and I didn't see any of your posts, and I went back and YouTube had unsubscribed me. So it happens all the time. So just pay attention to that. If you don't see me putting stuff up, I put stuff up every day. The only time that I didn't put stuff up was when I was on vacation where I didn't have access to the Wi-Fi. That was the only time that I didn't put anything up. So other than that, I'm pretty consistent, as you guys know. I live stream 3 days a week, Sundays, Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So always, and that's why I've been, like when I do my earlier videos, I just let people know that when I'll be on and stuff like that. So, but I'm living in Virginia, and there's some strange planes flying through tonight, and I have it on video. Lisa Marie Tatterstall just said that. That's cool. Well, always good to be prepared, pay attention, see what's going on. It's going to be 29 in Mobile Tuesday night. Burr. 29 would be nice. 29 is almost t-shirt weather. Like I said, it was chilly today. It was very, very chilly. I went out to the chicken coop. Chickens are doing good. I did get 4 eggs today, which I'll be honest with you, I was shocked that I got 4 eggs today because it's that cold. It is very, very cold. I did not let them out today. They stayed right in the coop. And but I got a nice bed of pine shavings down for them. And I actually, when I got back from vacation, I had an extra bundle of it sitting in the chicken coop. And I took that and I spread that around for them for just an extra layer. It's pretty thick in there. But what they're doing is there like certain spots that they've like cleared out to the floor, and then they're kicking it all up. So it's like some areas it's like, it's pretty deep with the pine shavings and stuff. But it's, they're good. They're in good shape. They're looking good. So I love my animals. I'm not going to lie. I am a sucker. Animals are awesome. They're loving. They just want to spend time with you. Just want to be near you. So yeah, it's I have my bookends when I sleep. So when I'm sleeping, if Heather's not home, especially because if Heather's home, a lot of times Soxy will go in and sleep with Heather. But I'll always have Max. Max will be on my left side of my head, and Soxy is on the other side. So I know every night those two cats are going to be right there. Then Lucy likes to sleep. He likes to sleep on my right side. When Heather's not home, Bella will be down at the bottom of the bed on the left side. So yeah, most nights I have 4 cats out of 8 in bed with me. So, and then they don't usually have more because then they start fighting like little kids. So, the day I missed that. Sorry. Tubular Guy 9 said it's 66 now. The doors are open. Well, that's nice. I'm glad you're enjoying that. So yeah, it's weird how, the weather patterns, guys. This is what I want you to think about too. So we're going to go back to the gardening topic where somebody was asking about, how important gardening is going to be in a post-event. Of course, I got off on a whole thing how the woods are going to be hunted and there's not going to be anything there. Gardening is hugely, hugely important. As preppers, you better have seeds. You better know how to garden. Learn how to garden now, and I've talked about this, okay? I've talked about this a lot. If you can put a greenhouse in, it moves you several zones further south, realistically, with your greenhouse. So, it's a very, very doable thing. Learn how to do it. Get good soil. That would be my number one thing that I would tell you guys. Soil is number one. Without good soil, you're not growing squat, okay? So make sure you got good soil. If you got a composting barrel, get one of those barrels. Put all your scraps in there. Put your weeds and whatever else in there. Then you get some earthworms, okay? Put those in that barrel. And then you're just going to rotate that. Just rotate that. Go out there and, turn it a couple times a day. Continue to add those scraps in there. The worms will take care of everything for you. They will do their job. And really, really smart way to do things. Really smart. And you're making good soil that way. Now, in the beginning, you're probably going to have to go out and buy soil. But again, if you're doing all these things now ahead of time, wait till you see what I have planned for this greenhouse, okay? I am going to be doing aquaponics in this greenhouse for sure, 100%, okay? I've already talked about that. Everybody knows that, okay? But I do plan on having other grow areas where it's going to be boxes where I can do my root vegetables. So I can do my potatoes and I can do my onions and carrots and those type of things, okay? Your other stuff that I can grow in the aquaponics part, I'm going to do it that way. It's definitely chickens are hot birds anyway. That coop is fine. Oh yeah, no, the coop is very, very insulated. They're not having any issues at all out there. I mean, it gets cold. Sure, it does. I could put a heat lamp out there. I could, but I really don't need to be honest with you. And they are all they're all up on the same roost. All the chickens are up on that same roost. So I have 18 chickens. They're all up on the top roost. None of them are on the second roost. I don't know. They're so funny, but they all get together and they all lock in and they're sharing that body heat, and they're good. They're good. There's not any kind of danger. But Lori Nielsen said I can barely keep a houseplant alive. Well, Lori, I'm telling you what, learn, honey, learn. I'm telling you right now, the key to survival after a post-event is going to be gardening. Gardening is going to be the thing that keeps us alive. I'm telling you right now, that is very, very important. So, please definitely pay attention to that because it's going to make the difference. It absolutely is going to make the difference if you survive or not. So, having seeds is great. Having having your, heirloom seeds and all that is fantastic. Good to have. But if you don't know how to grow, you don't want to have to learn that learning curve after a post-event, because if you're counting on that crop to come in to support you, to keep you alive, and you don't know what you're doing, that's not the time to learn. You better learn now. So, cut potatoes in half, Place in the ground, cover with straw and soak. Well, yeah, no, you definitely, as long as you got an eye on a potato, like you have, if you have your potato and you got the different eyes, you can cut sections off of that potato and put it in different spots, and you will get more growth. Absolutely. Do you think they will commandeer our gardens? Um, it would depend on the situation, to be honest with you. I honestly think if you have, uh, it depends on how bad the post event would be. If there is not organization in a post event and you have just scattered people all over the place trying to survive, you're going to have bands of people that are going to band together to basically pillage, burn, and rape is what they're going to do. That's going to and kill people. That's what they're going to do. Okay. So you need to get yourself together with a group of people that plan on surviving and long-term surviving, and not you living off of others in a bad way. And you need to protect what you have. Now, if you have, let's say, the cities are controlled by XYZ government or whatever government affiliation, they may come out. And if they come out, you better be prepared for that as well. Traps can be set. All that type of stuff can be done ahead of time. And again, if somebody is, if a government agency realistically is determined to, let's say they're determined they're going to take out Prepper Nurse 1, they're not going to screw around. They're going to drop a bomb on me, and that'll be the end of me. That would be it, realistically. If I was some huge threat. But again, it's like with growing crops, if they're trying to get the crops, they're obviously not going to blow you up because they want those crops. But I think it's really going to depend. I think it's really going to depend on the situation that happens. None of us can predict how minor or how bad it's going to be. We all have to go with the flow when that time comes. The key, realistically, guys, and this is just my opinion, surviving that first year. Surviving that first year is going to be the biggest key when it comes to a survival situation. Because if you get through that first year and you survive, the chances are, number one, you've learned a lot. You know what to look out for. And, you are a pretty hardy person at that point. Now, there's a lot of things that are going to kill people. Like I said, I talked about stupidity, sickness, diarrhea, this and that type of stuff, eating tainted food. There's going to be all kinds of a myriad of things that are going to kill people. And now think about this too. Now, you have all these people. Now everybody's in close quarters, right? And that's why I talk about spreading people out and not having so many people all jammed together. You got everybody living, like you got 25 people living. Let's say you had to have 25 people in my house. Everybody's sleeping on the floor. They're sleeping wherever they can sleep, right? Somebody gets sick. That's going to spread like wildfire through a small dwelling, okay? Those are things that you really need to pay attention to. So if you can spread people out and have, 5 or 6 people over here, 5 or 6 people over here, you're spreading it out, and then if somebody gets sick, you have a quarantine area for people that are sick so that you can isolate them to hopefully they get better and you can take care of them. Again, my yellow building will be the quarantine area, guaranteed. When the time comes, everything will come out of there that needs to come out of there, and that will get turned into a quarantine area. So that's my game plan anyway. And again, people think, oh, well, they're just going to come up and they're going to roll in and take your stuff. They're not going to get anywhere near my street because there'll be roadblocks way before my street. You got to remember, guys, I live on a dead-end dirt road. From the main road, if you drove down the main road, which is a side road, okay, it's not like there's no reason to be down on the side road if you don't live down here, okay? But even if let's say you're out, you're abandoned, you're searching, excuse me, that side road, you can't see my house from the main road. So our main road, if you will, which is a side road, you can't see my house at all. You can't see my solar panels, nothing. Now, if you're in the air and you're in a plane or a balloon or something like that, then yeah, sure you can, okay? But other than that, you're not. Now, granted, drones could be deployed and stuff like that too to surveil the area and figure out where things are. Again, everything comes down to who knows how bad it's going to be, what technology is going to survive, all those type of things. So, like I said, preparation. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. diversify your stuff. If you can bury a lot of your stuff, do it now. It's a smart thing to do, okay? And just be ready. And I'm going to tell you what, I have no problem if I had to bug out of here, getting out of Dodge, getting to a safer location. I have other people that have already said, yes, I'll work with you. They've already said, I've talked with them. If they got pushed out of their area, they know that they can come here. Again, safety in numbers, guys. But if you have a thriving community here, and we have another thriving community over here, willing to work together, pre-event, post-event, that's an ally. That's somebody that's going to help have your back in that time of need. And so that's a good thing to do. Send instructions and everything you need to do to construct your greenhouse. Well, yeah, that would help if they did that. Directional radio jammer could work with some drones. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for that information. Well, yeah, I mean, if you had to, you could shoot that drone out of the sky too. I mean, that's absolutely, something that can be done as well. But, again, somebody that's truly organized, somebody that truly knows what they're doing, that have a certain skill set, that are militarily trained. And I'm not just talking about Joe Grunt, okay? I'm talking about guys who are special forces type of guys. If they ever band together and decide to go hunt prepper groups, they're going to give prepper groups a hard time. They really would. And so, like I said, you just try to be as ready as you possibly can be. Hopefully you have people in your group with certain skill sets that will help your group. If you can have a nice sniper in your group, that's a huge advantage for you. If you got somebody that can take somebody out, a couple football fields away, boy, I'll tell you what, that's going to change some people's attitudes in a hurry. Did you check out West Virginia for a prepper town yet? I have not, but I know West Virginia is beautiful. I've been down through that area before, and it is a great area. Some of the things that I had looked at with Pennsylvania, and, now the governor there is a Democratic governor, and he wants to put in all kinds of restrictions too. Somebody said the gas tax is like either the second highest. I think it's the second highest. Of course, California is the highest, but I think that they are the second highest in the country. So, oh, that's so funny. Jack Frost, what are you looking for a date? You looking to hook up, Jack? Why would you ask that if you're not looking to hook up? So anyway, that's funny. That's very funny. Let's see. Burnsway just said, "I'll go to West Virginia." Well, it's not a bad area. Not a bad area at all, and a lot of mountains in West Virginia. So that's a good thing too. Thank you, JJ. JJ just kicked out Jack, so people are funny. Now he's gone, Robert. He got taken care of. You won't be accepted and will be targeted. Well, that's one of the things. If you're new, never moved to a remote place where families have been. Okay, well, there's kind of a misconception with that. If you move to an area that's more isolated and you integrate yourself into that community over time. I mean, I've been down here, June will start my 6th year down here at the Homestead. People know who I am down here now. They don't, a lot of them don't know that I'm a prepper, obviously, but they know me because they see me in town and stuff like that. And people get familiar with you and they get comfortable with you. So I'm one of them now, if you will. And that's how I feel. This is my town. This is where I live. So, I don't always agree. Now, if you just move to an area and SHTF happens, you could be a target. But I'll tell you what, again, as a prepper, if you are prepped and ready to go, and they are not, you stand a much better chance. That's just what I'm going to say, My camera is out of focus. It's looking okay for me. Maybe, I don't know. Camera focus? Oh, maybe a couple. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It seems okay on my end. I'm sorry if you guys are having some issues with it. Well, guys, I'm going to ask one more time here before we get down because we're close to the end again. I can't believe the time is going by so fast. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. Just, to show your support, it definitely helps. Let's see, what are we at? 262. Let's see if we can push that up to 300 before we jump off of here tonight. And I have to do what I do every night. And somebody's jumping the gun, rock hard there with Connecticut, putting where you're from already. Don't be jumping the gun. I'm joking, guys. I don't care. But anyway, we are Legion, guys, because there's so many of us. We are all over this country. We are all over the world, okay? It's a tad blurry, but not bad at all. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that then. But we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're this big family of preppers, off-gridders. Where's everybody from tonight? So let's see what we got here. We got Texas. We got Missouri, Pennsylvania, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Gatlinburg. We got Tennessee, Palo Alto, California, Wisconsin, Port Angeles, Washington. Let's see. Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Southwest Minnesota, Oklahoma, Illinois, Sweden, Hudson, Florida, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Hardin County, West Virginia, Binghamton, New York, New Zealand, Florida. Let's see, Raleigh, North Carolina. Love that town. Let's see, Napa Valley. That's in California. Chicagoland, Ohio. Jacksonville, Florida. Northwest Pennsylvania. Catskills, New York. Texas. Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Simone, Ontario. Let's see, Adirondacks, the Netherlands. Riverbank, California. Hamilton, New York. Anderson, South Carolina. Neverland. Very nice. Indiana, Knox County, Tennessee, Massachusetts, South Central Los Angeles. We got New Zealand there, Pine Bush, New York, Madison, Minnesota, Buffalo, New York. Let's see, Montreal, Canada, very nice. Hendersonville, North Carolina, know that area as well, very nice area. Hudson, Florida, formerly of Penfield, New York. Oh, very cool, Joseph. Oklahoma, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, guys, we're all over. We got Las Vegas there. We're all over the country. We are all over the world. We are this huge family. We're this huge network of people. And we really, truly can make a difference when the time comes. When that time comes, there's no stopping us, especially if we organize and work together now. I think it's really, really important that we do that. The Pennsylvania location is looking like a no-go, okay? Different things that I have found out is definitely not looking like a good area to be in. Okay, I've actually even thought about, because I'm here in New York, looking in this area. Now it's going to be more expensive, but if people started buying up properties around here, and there's a lot of properties for sale around here, I'm already here. I'm already established. I got power, everything else. So if the time came and we had other preppers up in this area working together, that would be a cool way to do it too. So, like I said, I'm already here. The greenhouse is already here. It's in place. Everything is, established, and more things are coming, time permitting. So, that's definitely can make a big difference. So I'm actually thinking about, if people are looking at possibly moving to New York in the area. I'm dead in the country, not near any major cities. There's no major nuclear power plants near us here. It's a good location, and I picked this location very strategically. And so if you are interested in that, just let me know, because we can definitely look at doing something like that. Yeah, well, there's a lot of vacant properties up here too. Just even up in the hills where I'm at, there's all kinds of properties. So, you can get everything from, raw land that has nothing on it to something that already has a house on it. Those possibilities are there. So if people are interested, and here's another thing, if you wanted to work together, and buy a significant amount of property, a bunch of us pooling our money together and doing something like that, that's something that can be doable too. Again, that would all have to be written out and legal and all that type of stuff, because believe me, you have to cover yourselves on that type of situation. But that's an opportunity as well. So no, I'm not moving, Jason. Nope, I'm not going anywhere. New York gun laws do suck. They absolutely do. But you can, most of the state is very gun friendly. You get into the cities, you get into New York City in that area, then it's forget it. But we're nowhere near there. We're nowhere near there. And so it's where I am. If you're serious, would never come to New York. Well, that's fine. It actually is a good location, to be honest with you. Where I'm at is a very good location. So I'm just saying, just putting that out there. But anyway, what did I find out about Pennsylvania? Well, the taxes are pretty bad. Number one, they're pretty bad in a lot of places, but they have like the second highest gas tax, and their new governor wants to really restrict the guns and stuff like that too. We got that here in New York too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Our governor here in New York sucks. He really truly does, because he doesn't speak for all the people, But again, it's all about control. That's what they want to do. They want that control. So, but again, if we worked together, there would be no stopping us in a post event. And if we ever, like I said, if we got, I don't care if I had, let's look at it like this, okay? So let's say 5 families moved up into this area, and they don't have to be on top of me. They don't have to be right next door to me, but they're within, a mile or 2 mile radius of where I'm at. And there's properties around here. Okay. When the time came, if we all planned on working together and having a central location to defend and fortify and work together, scary. Though that's not an area you'd want to just think that you're going to go in there and do pushover. Wouldn't happen. So that's what I'm saying as far as that goes. So anyway, guys, I'm going to ask one more time. What are we at? 315 on the thumbs up. So we did hit over 300, which is awesome. Show your support if you will, and let's see if we can get it closer to 350 before I sign off here. But I'm probably not going to hit 350, but we could get close. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys have a very safe weekend. Please be safe. I want to thank my moderators for continuing to do an absolutely awesome job. They are on top of stuff. They really, truly are. And I appreciate them. I really do. You guys do a great job. And thank you for help keeping the chat clean and getting rid of people that want to be stupid, because that's not what this is about. This is not about, people being stupid. So remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. That's important as well. That's probably the most important thing that I say, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you, okay? I hope everybody's having a great night. Hope you have a very safe weekend. Be safe, guys. Don't drink and drive. Just be smart. Don't do something stupid that's going to kill your life or kill somebody else. It's not worth it. Call that Uber, call a taxi, or have somebody that's sober drive. Go out, have a great time, get loaded. I don't care, but just be safe. So what are we at, 339? I'm going to one last push to see if we can get 11 more here, and then I'm going to sign off. So what do we? So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, if you would do that, say goodnight, Gracie. That's funny. Yeah, we need a new government. They're trying to rewrite the Constitution. Well, you know what? It's yeah. Where is Mr. Rose? I know he's got some other things going on. I had actually spoken with him, and that's some private stuff that he had to deal with. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with Mr. Rose. So what are we at? 349. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. That's close enough. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Please be safe. I will talk. Oh, there we go. 351. Perfect. All right. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.